How have people still not realized that feminism is a sham? It's a scam. I'm telling you, it is a robbery. It's robbery of womanhood.
Women are statistically less happy than we've ever been, and it's because feminism sold us a lie on what happiness looks like.
Feminism is one of the biggest scams. They're indoctrinating young girls, I was even indoctrinated, to think that your career is going to bring you happiness.
How have people still not realized that feminism is a sham? It's a scam. I'm telling you, it is a robbery. It's robbery of womanhood. Because my thing is like, everything they push for is opposite of what actually truly makes women happy and fulfilled. And I'm just like, how are people not seeing that? It's sad because people don't realize it until later on in their 40s, 50s, when they're single, they have no children, no family, and they were taught and pushed that in their 20s, they should be going out, they should be meeting as many partners as they can, experiencing life, enjoying and doing all of that. But then it's like, it becomes harder to have children. It becomes harder to settle down and get married. I'm not saying that it's impossible and no one can't, but it's true, like in your 20s, it's easier to meet somebody and to start settling down and getting married. Like as you get older, those things get harder. But it's like we're pushed to pursue career and selfish desires in our 20s. And then as we get older and mature, it's like that's when we should start thinking about that.
Women are statistically less happy than we've ever been, and it's because feminism sold us a lie on what happiness looks like. If you look at a lot of these studies, there is a sharp decline in female satisfaction and life and happiness right around the 1970s, and it's just been getting worse and worse. It's interesting because feminism was supposed to make women happier, right? Going to work was supposed to make us more liberated. Being able to freely sleep around was supposed to bring us like so much fulfillment and peace, but we're finding the opposite to be true. Go around and ask any woman if she's overwhelmed or not. Like 99% of us are. There is so much that we are expected to do and be in this modern age. It used to be that our main priority was our family and our home. To bear children, raise them, love them, nurture them. That was kind of where our focus was supposed to be. A lot of the feminists didn't like that, right? That's degrading. So we gotta actually be like men. So this pressure to work and to go get a 9-to-5 and to bring in an income, that became a big part of the equation. That became a huge part of the economy. The point where now you can't really have a single income home. It's like both people need to be working. But that didn't take away women's drive and desire to have children and raise them. So now women have the responsibilities of both women and men. We are expected to have children, raise them. We are expected to also have a career, build it, bring in money, be boss babes. And we're expected to look good and stay skinny and do all of that, even more so with the pressure of social media and everything we see on it. It's insane. There is so much that is expected of us, and we kind of brought this upon ourselves. And we still think that the answer to our problems is more feminism. Isn't. It has only brought us misery, let's be honest.
Feminism is one of the biggest scams. They're indoctrinating young girls, I was even indoctrinated, to think that your career is going to bring you happiness. Then you hit 40s, 50s, not married, no children, and it's heartbreaking. You're not happy. And I'm so happy and so grateful that I figured this out in my early 20s. You have some women in their 30s, 40s, listening to Cardi B, dedicating their lives to their career, and they're going to be miserable. They're creating a certain lifestyle for themselves, and no man is ever going to want them. Then we start hating on men because men prefer younger women. Well, that's not really men's fault, is it? It's society's fault. Society should have told girls when they were much younger that at that age, they're going to be most desirable. But no, they were busy building their careers and building all these different things, which unfortunately they wake up one day and realize just isn't satisfying enough. And so I think it's very sad.
This might be a little too real, but how do I tell my mother that even though I'm 20 years old, I've been working since I was 14, and I know I had to work. I've always had to work for the things that I want. I never got anything handed to me, but I'm 20 years old. I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to do that shit. I'm putting deodorant on because I'm sweating because I just walked up the stairs because I don't be doing any type of physical exercise. So, like, I just been laying in my house for like a week. I got fired from my job because I don't want to go. I don't want to show up. I'm yelling in silence because I can't yell. Because if I yell in my house, I get my ass break. So that's why I can't tell my mama that I don't want to work. Because you got to. You got to get up and go to work, girl. You're 20 years old. You got to go to work. You got to go to school. You got to do everything. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. And everybody I tell, they're like, just go apply for more. Shut up. I don't want to work anymore.
I'm 20 years old and I've never had a boyfriend. I've literally never even been on a date. But like, yeah, I remember being like 14 and all my friends would be Snapchatting multiple guys and I'd be in the corner like, yo, my settings app is fire. I don't know, but like when I see guys my age, I'm like, okay. this cannot be my dating pool. But then sometimes I feel like reading like romance books has ruined my expectations for men. But love like that has to exist because I exist, period. I love very deeply. Why can't it exist in a guy? I genuinely just believe. I'm FaceTiming my friend.
Yeah.
It's for TikTok. Oh, yes, please. What the heck? That's so sweet. Do you see what I'm talking about? My brother's cooking for me right now. You're telling me I have to settle for the bare I don't want to settle, but then I see how 20-year-olds act and I'm like,
I don't feel safe.
First, girl, serious advice. You need to stop making decisions and choices. Find a man in your family who is sensible and who really cares about you, and just take their advice seriously. Also, abandon feminism. It's truly poison. Okay, you guys are all just like really misogynistic.
What is misogynistic about his statement? I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Can I go?
Are you okay? Like, do you want to go as in leave? If you want to leave, you can leave. I was hoping we could continue having a conversation, but
I think that was the first time in her life she was faced with like the truth of and the consequences of her actions. And
I think she was just like gathering like everything she said on here, and it just hit her kind of.
Feminism is the biggest lie we have ever been sold as women. Now you may say, well, Savannah, I reject modern feminism, but I agree with the principles of feminism. And I would challenge you on that. Because while the textbook definition of feminism is about equality between the sexes and women having agency over their own lives, what feminism actually is a movement funded by the wealthiest evil people with the goal to destroy marriage and family. It is designed to make you hate the very things God made unique about you as a woman.
When I was in college, I dated a very traditional Christian man who asked me at one point, how do you feel about after you graduated, we just immediately got married and you were a stay-at-home wife and you didn't have to work? I was honestly offended by that question because I was so passionate about this thing that I was getting a degree in that I was just so eager to enter the workforce and do this thing that I loved and get money for it. Fast forward to today, I've graduated, we broke up, I'm now working in the profession of the thing that I got a degree in, and I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done.
The career woman trap. Her success costs her love. The more successful a woman becomes, the fewer men that she's going to attract. But hold on. What do I mean by that? Pay attention to this word. A lot of women crave hypergamy, meaning they prefer a man that they perceive as above them in key areas like status, competence, income, leadership, and direction. And this is the truth that nobody wants to tell women. As a woman climbs the professional ladder, the number of men, they shrink, and she's biologically wired to want a man that she can look up to. So her dating pool gets even smaller. Most women aren't attracted to a man that they feel that they're ahead of, even if he's kind, even if he's loyal. If she can't respect him, she's not going to crave him. So what happens after this? She starts looking around, and the men she wants are either not there or extremely rare. And the rare ones are usually taken, or they have endless options. And then she settles, but not emotionally. Strategically, she picks the passive guy, the safe guy, the guy that she can manage. And at first, yeah, it's peaceful, but then it feels boring. Then she loses respect. Then she loses attraction, and she starts treating him like crap. Now add the second problem. To win in a competitive career, she has to live in the masculine traits. She just has to. Assertive, hard, aggressive, always proving her worth, always pushing forward. And then that becomes her identity. So turning it off at home isn't just going to happen because those traits start to linger. And now most high-value men, they don't want a boss babe they have to compete with at home. They compete all day. They want peace, softness, warmth, receptivity, and they want polarity. And career women struggle to give them that. So choose what you want most because you won't be able to have both without paying some sort of price. One often comes at the cost of another. You won't be able to dominate at work and then suddenly soften at home. That would take major work and rewiring. So prioritize. Decide what matters more than you and give that your energy. The choice is yours.
Okay, I'm gonna make this quick.
because I have to go into a meeting. I have 3 meetings today. I have been in the corporate life for almost half my life. For context, I'm 40 years old. I have 2 children who are 11 and 7. And I fell for it. I fell for this thing where, you know, go to college, get your degree. You know, if you want to have kids, you can do it all. You can have a career, you can have kids, you can just do everything. Well, I don't want to do everything. I don't want to do that anymore. I fell for that shit. Do not fall for it. Do not fall for that shit. I want to take my kids to school. I want to pick them up from school. I want to be there when they get home. I want to chaperone for them, volunteer at school. I just want to go to the gym, clean my house, do laundry, go to the grocery store, and just be home.
I did everything they said that was going to make me happy. I built a career. I got my own place. I went on solo trips like a pro. The best hotels, flying business, you name it, right? The works. And I stayed independent. But no one told me about how lonely I was going to be on those trips. Being successful looks really good on the outside, but and I'm proud of everything that I did. Don't get me wrong. Like, alhamdulillah, I'm very proud of all of my accomplishments, but it was very lonely. I feel very lonely all the time. Success doesn't check in on you when you're spiraling at home. Doesn't check in with you when you're having a bad day. Doesn't check in with you when or just when like you miss your family back home.
So do me a favor. Do not fall for that shit, because it is not worth it. It's a joke. Be home, find a way to be home, be with your family, be with your kids. Just, it's not worth it. None of this is worth it.
When you own something, whether it's property, land, is that a legal term?
Yep.
Ownership? And legality assumes what?
Assumes that the authority is being protected by the government that you
In the case that the property is violated, even if the woman's capable of holding a heavy gun and shooting it accurately, it still goes to a system that decides whether she was just in shooting the man, right?
Yeah, men are stronger, if that's where you're wanting to go.
Any argument for legal ownership of property, whether it's a house or land or anything else, assumes an enforcement arm that has to be mostly men. Do you agree that anything you could list actually requires a patriarchy to uphold?
But you're talking about men in power in the enforcement arm, not the government system. And
what's power? The government system without power?
Banking.
What's banking without power? Can I make up money?
No.
And if I do that, what happens?
You would go to jail.
And how do I go to jail mechanically?
The police will arrest you.
And are they strong men?
Often, yep.
Yeah, okay. You got to understand, when we said, yeah, you can own land, you can own stuff, you can participate in the society and the economics, right? You said, so you agree with feminism. No, I am saying that any expression of feminism that you present is actually wholly reliant on something that's not feminist.
Feminism sold us the biggest scam of our generation. They told us we were empowered, but what did we actually get? Burnout, debt, stress, a double life where we work like men and still carry the entire home on our backs. And here's the truth nobody's talking about. Feminism didn't set women free. It trapped us in a masculine system that we were never designed for. They told us to compete with men, to lead like men, to talk, think, act like men, and now we're exhausted, we're disconnected, resentful, and wondering why nothing feels right. We don't need more feminism. We need to reclaim the femininity that was stolen from us, because that's where a woman's real power has always been. In softness, in harmony, emotional intelligence, intuition, influence, not in becoming a copy of the men we were created to complement. If you want to break free from this conditioning and learn how to step back into your feminine design, the design that brings peace, love, protection, and real freedom, that's exactly what I teach inside the Feminine Reset. Click the link in my bio for access.
Here, let's watch this because it's so funny.
Now we have women that fight in war, so...
They're not really ever in combat.
3 of my sisters are in the army,
And all 3 of your sisters were never in combat.
One of them were.
No, none of them were.
One's in... yeah.
No, none.
Say it like, talk about it like you know me.
It's not about knowing you. It's about knowing how it works. And no, they don't send women into frontline combat. It doesn't happen.
I don't know what she does, but as obviously the front line is a place with people that actually know what they have been doing it for way longer. That's your front line.
It's a place that they send male soldiers because they're the only ones who are allowed to fight in frontline combat.
You're talking to yourself now.
Was it too much for me to say that your sisters weren't at the front lines ninjaing up the enemy? They didn't crawl through the trenches with a
a dagger in their teeth and take them down.
That's how I know you're small, because you have to make up for your personality.
Hello, my name is Joy, and I woke up choosing violence this morning because I would like to debunk and explain why feminism is a crock of shit. I can already see the comments of me getting called a pick-me girl for this, so let's just get into it. Number 1, hookup culture getting disguised as empowerment. The sexual liberation of random hookup culture completely goes against female biology because of how we emotionally bond through oxytocin. Hooking up with random people is not empowerment. It's disgusting. And the fact that feminism tells women that they will be liberated after that is an absolute lie. You're not going to feel liberated. You're going to feel like a slut. And that just leads to the spiral culture of I need more, I need to feel sexy, I don't feel wanted or desired, so I'm going to go get it because I can, because I'm a boss-ass bitch. It's a lie. It's a complete, utter lie. Number 2, putting career over having a family. The narrative that traditional roles are oppressive. Like, show me where they're oppressive. Other than maybe the Amish and the people in Utah. What are they called again? Mormons, that's what it is. You can climb the corporate ladder all you want. But true long-term satisfaction in your life comes from strong relationships where people actually care and love you for who you are, having a sense of community, and raising a family. This pressure that women have to have it all and be that boss woman in the corporate world, it leaves them burned out. Okay, those are the chicks that are walking around 45 that are fat and overweight with their hormones out of whack that look like they are just stressed beyond belief because they've been chasing a lie someone told them would make them feel fulfilled, and it just doesn't. Number 3, feminism frames men as opponents, not partners. There are 100% bad dudes out there. I mean, like really bad dudes that exert their power and force to get what they want. They're tyrannous. Yes, absolutely. Those guys do exist. But attacking men in general, telling them that their masculinity is inherently toxic, is the most messed up thing on the planet. Men and women are different. Our bodies are different. Our hormones are different. Our brains are different. We are just different. We can be equal, but we can acknowledge our differences and understand that the yin and yang between the sexes is not the problem. It's a good thing. Lord knows we do not need more feminine men. We need more true, strong, masculine, healthy men in society. We could fix a lot of things if that happened. And that ideology that we're in competition with men and not that we complement each other will make your relationships suffer. Feminist women that try to get in relationships with men and have that ideology programmed in their mind carry it into that relationship, and it screws things up. And number 4, last but not least, the promise of total independence. Telling women that they need total independence to feel happiness is just going to lead to pure isolation. And listen, I'm a strong, independent woman, okay? I love just being able to do things on my own and figure it out and problem solve and all those things, but I still ask for help. A lot. Because I need it and I acknowledge it, and I go to my community and I go to other people and males in my life that I'm like, hey, can you help me with this? That does not make me weak. That does not make me less because I ask for help, because I understand that I need it. What's being marketed as freedom to women is just complete disconnection. And I think it's honestly really heartbreaking that so many women are falling for this narrative as if this is the answer that they need, or that's going to make them happy. You can be a strong, independent woman without falling for this narrative feministic bullshit. And if you've been really hurt by a guy before, honey, I get it. I understand how this is so attractive, this ideology that this is going to be what frees you and you don't need a guy because screw him. I get it. Trust me. But just because you dated a jerk does not mean you need to go on the rest of your life living through an ideology that will inherently hurt you in the long term. There are good men out there. I promise you. That's all I got to say about that. I was kind of feeling feisty this morning, so yeah.
So I have one podcast. You're a feminist. I have absolutely no power compared to the absolute Goliath that is feminism. You're laughing. Every single university in this country has a feminist studies program, a women's studies program, a gender studies program. All these universities are systems, and these systems have $100 million endowments. That's what I'm up against. You guys have all the power. Feminism has all the power. It has infiltrated all the institutions, higher education, government, media, corporations. Do you think my message is the mainstream? I'm the counterculture.
No, I don't think
I'm the counterculture. You, as a feminist, possess all the systemic and institutional power in this country.
I would disagree with that.
Women can have sex just like men. This right here is the most dangerous lie that feminism has sold to millions of women. Feminism is always aiming for equality for women, and in many ways they have achieved that. They secured the right to vote, to have financial freedom, as well as the right to work. But as the battles have been won and equality has been achieved, the fervor for more equality has blinded them, where even inequalities that are biologically built in now need to be destroyed. This inequality is most apparent when it comes to sex. Sex is not the same for men and women, and it never can be because of the risks attached for each gender. Pregnancy, assault, and even getting killed are all real possibilities because at the end of the day, men are just stronger and more aggressive. And it's really hard to tell whether a man is going to honor you and take care of you because he's a good man versus a man who's just pretending to be a good man in order to have access to you. Previous generations solved this issue by recognizing sex as something very sacred because it has the power to create life. So they treated a woman's body and trust as inviolate and relegated this union between man and woman to marriage. Why? Because marriage offered a whole bunch of security that a casual encounter just couldn't. There was safety in the contract of marriage. The man was legally bound to his wife as well as to his children and had the societal and financial responsibility for them. This gatekeeping of sex was really effective because it forced men to have to work for that privilege through marriage. They had to prove to be worthy of a woman, to be worthy of someone's daughter. They had to be financially responsible, have a good reputation in their society, and show a willingness to step up to those responsibilities. Now, of course, there were instances of just terrible men pretending to fit the bill, but overall, the system worked really well in protecting women, but more importantly, forcing men to grow up. Now, fast forward to today, where in our society, one of the biggest problems that we're facing is that men seem to be caught up in this perpetual arrested development. Even well into their 40s and 50s, there are these instances of adult toddlers, and cities like San Francisco and New York have turned into Neverland, where people really just don't have to grow up. The combination of dating apps as well as the proliferation of hookup culture has ended that noble act of men courting women and honestly turned sex into a commodity. They have reduced sex down to a meaningless act. The push to have sex like men was aimed to empower women, to help them claim their sexuality and throw off societal expectations. But has it actually helped women? Aimed at freeing women, the sexual revolution has actually freed men to use women, all while telling women to feel empowered by being disposable.
How people still not realize that feminism is a sham? It's a scam. I'm telling you, it is a robbery. It's robbery of womanhood